Hello everyone and welcome to another fantastic learning experience with Saoirse, who is fantastic. Today we're going to be talking about solving multi-step equations. That's lesson 2-3 in your books, page 91. Hopefully I'll be able to help you do what you need to do in math, so let's get started. Okay, so since the above equation requires more than one step to solve, it is called a multi-step equation. To solve this equation, we must undo each operation by working backward. Okay, so when you have a multi-step equation, basically it's just that you're just going to have to do more than one thing. Because before we were just doing one thing, like just dividing or just multiplying just one time. Well, now you're going to be doing it multiple times. Okay, so let's look at this first one. 11x minus 4 equals 29. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get the variable by itself, but you do the one that's farthest away from it in a sense. Okay, so like in this part, it would be the negative 4. It's not really that far away. It's more of like a term. So 11x, 11 is right by the x, like it's the part that you do last. So this part, since it's not connected to the x in any way, you're going to do first. So since it's a negative 4, we're going to do the opposite, which means we're going to add 4. And whatever you do to one side, you have to do it to the other side. So that means we add 4 on this side as well. Now it becomes 11x equals 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry the 1, 3. Okay? So now, that was just one step. Now we move on to the next step. Okay? So you have 11x equals 33. Okay? So we learned in the previous previous video, that when you have multiplication, you have to do the opposite, which means it would be division. So now, we're going to divide by 11 on this side, and whatever you do on that side, you're going to do it on the other side. So divide 33 by 11, and x now is 3. If you plug it back in, you would get 11 times 3, which is 33, minus 4 is 29, and that checks out. So, check. Okay, this problem over here, a plus 7 over 8 equals 5. Okay, so now you're probably like, whoa, this is some real weird stuff. It's actually not that hard. So what you're going to do is, since you have 8 and it's in division, you're just going to do the opposite, which would be multiplying. So you multiply to get that 8 out of there, and you have to do it to the other side as well. So now you have a plus 7 equals 40. Now that you have that, you move on to the second part. So now it becomes a plus 7 equals 40. So that would be subtraction, because that's the opposite. Subtraction on this side as well. A equals 40 minus 7, which is 33. You plug it back in. 33 plus 7 is 40. 40 divided by 8 is 5. So this checks out as well. Okay, so 2a minus 6 equals 4. I want you to go ahead and try this one on your own, and when you're ready to check, unpause the video. Okay, so we're going to do the thing that's farthest away from the variable again. So that means that this negative 6. But since it's a negative 6, we have to do the opposite. So that means add 6. Then we add 6 to the other side. This now becomes 2a equals 10. Then, since it's multiplication, we have to divide. So don't divide by the a. Divide by 2. So then you get a equals 5. You plug it back in, and you get 2 times 5, which is 10. 10 minus 6 equals 4. So this checks out. Now the other side, go ahead and do that one, and when you're ready to check, unpause the video. Okay, so now you go ahead and look, and you see that we're going to have to multiply since it's in division form. So multiply by negative 2, multiply by negative 2. Now you get n plus 1 equals negative 30. Now you subtract 1, n equals negative 31, because negative 30 plus negative 1 equals negative 31. Plug it back in. Negative 31 plus 1 is 30. 30 divided by negative 2 equals, well, it was actually negative 30 divided by negative 2 equals 15 because a negative divided by a negative is positive. So this checks out too. Yay. Okay, so write and solve a multi-step equation. So Hiroshi is buying a pair of water skis that are on sale for 2/3 of the original price. After he uses a $25 gift certificate, the total cost before taxes is $115. What was the original price of the skis? Okay, so once you see that, you're probably like, whoa, how am I supposed to make a problem out of that? Well, you just got to think of it this way. So what are you looking for? You go back to the end of the question. It says, what was the original price of the skis? So that's going to be your variable. So you're going to put your variable. I'm going to use P because it was the price, okay? So then you're looking and see again, what else? Let's see. So we're going to look for what to put at the end of the equation. And we see the total cost. There you go. The total. That's what you want to look for. $115. Okay? Let's see if we can find anything else. Okay, so after he uses a $25 gift card. Okay, here we go. So we have the price, okay, which we were looking for. After he uses it, so that means he took it away, so we can do subtract 25. And then the only thing left is something to do with the P. So that would be 2/3 of the price minus 25 equals 115. So this is now our equation, okay? So we have to do the thing that's farthest away from the variable. So add 25, 2/3 P equals 10, carry the 1, 2, 3, 4, 140. Then now we multiply by 3 over 2, by 3 over 2, and you get P equals 210. So the original price of the skates was $210. Oh, they weren't even skates, they were skis. My bad. Okay, so then at the end, well, not the end, but the next part, it says consecutive integers are integers in counting order such as 4, 5, and 6, or n plus 1, and n plus 2. Counting by 2 will result in consecutive even integers if the starting integer n is even, and consecutive odd integers if the starting integer is odd. So if consecutive even would be like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and consecutive odd would be like 3, 6, 9, 11, things like that. Okay, and then they probably will ask you like, find 3 consecutive integers with a sum of negative 51. And I wrote the little note there, that's a 1 by the way. I don't know, I really like this font and I didn't really want to change it, so I was just like, you know what, I'll just let them know it's a 1, you know, whatever. Okay, so when you have that, you're going to have to make an equation. I know, equations, but you know, you got to do what you got to do. Okay, so we're going to let n be the least odd integer, okay? So this would be n. Then we'd have to, since it's 3 consecutive integers with a sum of negative 51, we know that it's probably going to be odd integers because negative 51 is odd. So our next thing would be n plus 2. And the reason behind that is if you have 1, what do you get to the next odd number? The next odd number will be 3. So what would you add to 1 to get to 3? 2. So that's why you have n plus 2, okay? And then next, if you're at 3, what would you add to get to the next one? You would add n plus 4. Okay, put our little things. And that all equals negative 51. Sorry, I'm running out of space. I don't know why I left that big gap at the beginning. Okay. Okay, so now that you have all that, you have to take all those n's and put them together. So you're going to have now 3n plus 6, because 2 plus 4 is 6, equals negative 51. Now that you have that, you can solve your multi-step equation by what you've learned before. Do the opposite. 3n now equals negative 57. Divide by 3. Divide by 3. n is equal to negative 19. So just remember your consecutive integers. If it's an odd number, like if the total is going to be an odd number, then it's probably going to be consecutive odd integers. If it's going to be an even number, like if it was negative 52, we would have used even integers. So it would have been like n plus 1, like things like that. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been another fantastic learning experience with Saoirse, who is fantastic, telling all of you that you are fantastic as well. I hope I was able to help you do what you need to do in math, so hope you have a great day.